rest, that would be another 12 minutes, and then we would still have time for closing statements. So the very last question, why don't I take a short one? What has been, or do you think should be, the evaluation process for top administrators at Santa Barbara City College? Does it ever include a 360-degree review? And why don't we start? I don't think we've started with you, Marty, so why don't we start there?
Sure. Well, it's very plain to me that at the top of the organizational chart are the people of Santa Barbara, of the South Coast. They hire the trustees by voting for them and making sure that they're doing the right thing. The trustees hire the president, and then the president takes care of other things. Well, I think it's very important that annually trustees have an annual evaluation of the president. That's not too hard to do, and it's very important for a lot of reasons. She has a contract, a 3-year contract, that every time they don't say anything bad about her, rolls over for another year. So this could be till age 99, we don't know. But, you know, at some point there might be something that they want to say, and I don't know what it would be right now, but there might be something. And the other thing is that they need to make sure that those evaluations are done every single year. Now, this year, they asked for an evaluation, they had an evaluation session, and they gave 24-hour notice. They said it was an emergency meeting. That was not an emergency. Every year you have to have an evaluation, and actually there was a criticism in the accreditation report about that. They have to hold these evaluations. It's not an emergency. What that emergency does is give them a shorter time period for telling you and me that they're going to have a meeting. It gives them a 24-hour time period instead of a 72-hour time period. You know, in the city, those emergencies are fires, floods, kidnapping of somebody. No, this was not an emergency, a regular evaluation. And then the other thing is, I just wanted to make sure I get this in. While I was mayor, there were never any furloughs or layoffs, just to let you know. But it could happen because it's hard. It's very hard.
I marvel that Marty doesn't seem to know that there is an annual evaluation of the president. It has to be confidential, but we had plenty of input. There was ample notice of it under the applicable statutes of the Brown Act. I had about 150 emails, some of them angry, some of them quite intemperate. They were all taken into consideration. There were people who came and spoke at the beginning of the evaluation meeting, and then we had to go into closed session because that is mandated by law. We had a very intense, heated evaluation of our president. I will say that this board pulled no punches. There was very honest discussion. If at any time we can't have that discussion, or the evaluation turns out not to be good, I assure you that any president under those circumstances would be gone very quickly, regardless of any 3-year contract. In the circumstances, particularly with the accreditation, incidentally, which was a remarkable achievement, started late because the previous administration had not started the evaluation process in time, that President Serban performed superbly. And that primarily was what she was evaluated on. Thank you.
For the accreditation process, I would just note that it would be a shock if this college were not accredited. And I would expect that to occur under all circumstances and all administrations. For the evaluation of the president, yes, that does occur in a closed session as a personnel matter, but I agree with Marty. 24-hour notice is not legal under the Brown Act. This is not an emergency, it's an annual evaluation. You know it is coming, and you need to give people notice. In fact, you should give them more than 72 hours. Let's be practical, people. Why not give a long-term advance notice? Why not give that 360-degree evaluation? I went to the meeting because I found out about the 24-hour notice because I was paying attention. And I said at that meeting in public comment, why not ask the community? Why not ask the faculty and the staff and the students before you go into this evaluation? And I got some pretty strong frowns, like, why would you do that? Well, I think you would do that, and that's exactly how I would look at that process. And I think that it's basically what Peter has said in the past. It's the people's college. And so the people need a voice in that evaluation.
I think the board has a strong role in advising the president, and as trustee, I want to be really supportive of our president, and the annual review would be a great time to go in detail through all the feedback that we get from the community as a part of shared governance. Again, the board at the June meeting had the opportunity to wait a week or two when one of the board members suggested that perhaps based on the emails and information they had received, a little more consideration should be made and a few more questions should be asked. They had the opportunity to slow down, which is what we've said a lot. You know, just don't rush to decisions, slow down. They had the opportunity and they didn't take it. I'd be a real strong advocate for the current president, and I would hope that we could encourage her and support her in being the best president for Santa Barbara City College. Thanks.
The purpose of an evaluation is to help the person being evaluated. It isn't for the purpose of determining whether we're going to fire this person or not fire this person. It's for all of us in our daily endeavors is evaluated at some point, whether if it's on the job site or, and certainly as a faculty member, I was evaluated every 2 years, whether I liked it or not. And in fact, I would take the extra step and have myself evaluated on an annual basis by giving out or distributing what I tell my students not to do. So, no, it's not my wife. Especially during the first years of a faculty member's presence among us, we evaluate them very carefully, and we provide a lot of feedback to the person who's being evaluated, so as to allow them to make use of that information and grow. It's that simple. Especially for a new president, a president who has had no experience as a chief executive officer. This board owed her a genuine evaluation that would be helpful. I think this board has let her down.
We take evaluations very seriously. We evaluate ourselves, not only individually, the board, but the board evaluates the board. We hired this president. We had a lot of community input. Were some of you there at the forums when all the candidates came? I think you were. And we've got a good person there. We took a lot of time to find the right person. And when it comes to evaluation, just like Peter said, we're just trying to say, what are you doing well and what aren't you doing well? We're not there to fire. Peter McDougall was there 21 years. I was there when we hired him. His contract rolled over every 3 years. That's customary in community colleges. You don't have to keep that person 3 years. You can fire them. But if you have someone good, you want to keep them. That gives them a little security. Now, deans, I don't see any deans in here, and vice presidents, is there a dean? Yeah, they're hired 2 years. They're not tenured. They're hired 2 years. If we're not happy with their performance, not the board. If the administration's not happy with their performance, they're out of there. There's so many people out there looking for jobs. When we tried to, when we advertised for the Oaks director, the thing that they told us before, there's no one out there. We had 37 applications, one with a PhD, and the woman that we hired, who's excellent, has 2 masters. So they're out there. People need jobs, and I think you know that because you read the papers. So I would say that the board is very serious about it, and this thing about the Brown Act and this emergency thing, it's just, it's a smokescreen as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. Now we're at the closing statement time. We began